You know, son, when you've lived as long as I have, you begin to see patterns, the kind you can't spot in your 20s or even your 40s. Patterns in people, in pain, in love, especially in the silent drifting apart of two people who once promised to hold each other forever. Now, I've spent the better part of 60 years watching couples, my own marriage included, evolve. And there's a truth I've come to realize, not from books, not from experts, but from life itself. And it's this: most women don't suddenly fall out of love with their husbands. They fall out of being seen, of being heard, of being noticed, of being felt. You see, when a marriage begins, everything feels electric. You talk for hours, hold hands without even thinking, laugh until your sides hurt, and dream together about the kind of life you want to build. And then life actually begins. Jobs, mortgages, children, illness, in-laws, schedules, and slowly, the very person you once felt the most connected to becomes the one sitting next to you in silence. It doesn't happen all at once. It's not a landslide. It's more like sand slipping through your fingers. You don't even realize it's gone until your hand is empty. Now listen close to this next part, because it took me decades to understand. Your wife, that woman who used to light up when you walked into a room, she didn't stop loving you. She stopped recognizing herself in your eyes. She stopped feeling like someone you admired, someone you pursued, someone you truly saw. Most men think that being a good husband means showing up, paying the bills, staying loyal, mowing the lawn, and keeping the fridge full. And don't get me wrong, those things matter. But I'll tell you what matters more. Noticing when her spirit is heavy, remembering how she takes her tea, asking her how her heart is doing, not just how her day was. See, women, they carry more than we notice. They remember every birthday, every doctor's appointment, every family schedule. They hold your secrets, your dreams, your weaknesses, and they ask for so little in return. Just to be held, just to be seen, just to feel like more than the caretaker, more than the house manager, more than the mother of your children. They want to feel like your love again, not just your partner in logistics. Let me tell you about a friend of mine, Henry, been married 47 years. Beautiful wife, Margaret, always looked like a woman who could light up a room without saying a word. But a few years back, Margaret changed, quieted, grew colder. At first, Henry thought she was just tired, maybe a little depressed. But what he didn't see was that she was tired of not being seen, tired of being invisible in her own home. Not once had he asked her how she was really doing. Not once had he said, "Tell me what's been on your mind lately." He was a good man, loyal, hardworking, faithful, but he had forgotten how to connect. You see, loyalty isn't just about staying married. It's about showing up emotionally. It's about making her feel like she matters still, like she's still worth the effort. Because here's what most men never realize. Your wife is evolving. Every year, every decade. She is not the same woman she was when you married her. She's a mosaic now of pain, joy, loss, discovery, strength, and rebirth. And if you haven't taken the time to rediscover her, then she's living beside a stranger. And it hurts. Let me be honest with you. There was a point in my own marriage, about 20 years in, where we barely spoke. We had kids in college, money stress, aging parents. And I realized something chilling one night while brushing my teeth. I didn't know what made my wife laugh anymore. I didn't know what books she was reading. I hadn't touched her hand in weeks, not out of anger, but out of habit. And let me tell you, that's how marriages die. Not from cheating, not from shouting, from silence, from forgetting to be curious about the woman sleeping beside you. So what did I do? I asked her to take a walk with me, just the two of us. No phones, no TV. And I said, "Tell me what I've missed. Tell me who you become while I wasn't paying attention." And she cried, not because she was sad, but because someone finally asked. That night saved our marriage. Now, I'm not saying one walk fixes everything, but I'll tell you this. Effort doesn't need to be grand. It needs to be intentional. Women don't need luxury. They need presence. Not perfect words, just Genuine ones. Tell me more. I'm listening. I remember when you used to love painting. Do you miss it? Come sit with me, even if we say nothing. These are the bridges that bring her back. And let's talk about intimacy, shall we? It changes with age. Of course it does. But here's the thing. Most women don't lose interest in physical affection. They lose interest in being touched by someone who doesn't touch their soul. You want closeness in the bedroom? Start with closeness at the dinner table. Start by making her feel like she's the most interesting woman in the room again. Start by touching her hand just because when a woman feels seen, she softens, she opens, she shines. And listen, I know we're not always good at words. Some of us grew up in homes where feelings were for the weak. But I promise you, there is nothing stronger than a man who says, I want to be better for you. You don't need to be poetic. You just need to be present. And if you're hearing this and thinking, maybe it's too late, I want to tell you something. It is never too late to love someone better. Not at 40, not at 60, not at 80. You want to know the real tragedy? It's not divorce. It's two people staying together in silence, emotionally divorced, just sharing a roof. You want a second honeymoon? Start with a second conversation. Start by asking, what have I missed? And then listen like your whole marriage depends on it. Because, my friend, it does. So, from an old man who's made his share of mistakes, let me leave you with this. Hold her hand, not just in public, but in the kitchen. Look into her eyes, really look and tell her, you're still the one I choose. Say thank you for the invisible things. Say sorry for the things you didn't realize hurt. And never, ever stop being curious about her heart. Because the day you stop exploring her soul is the day she begins exploring a life without you in it. So love her, see her, cherish her, not out of duty, but out of choice. Because when you choose her again, she just might choose to fall in love with you all over again. This is Veteran Wisdom Path, where we honor the quiet truths that only time can teach. If this spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs it. And if you're walking this path of rediscovery, remember, the most beautiful journeys often begin with the words, I see you now. Until next time, be gentle, be present, and above all, be kind to the one who's been holding your heart all these years.